Hi, everyone. Life Coach Carisa here. I am back with you today to talk about what I think will be a very relatable and much needed message. This is going to be all about never being good enough. Now, I am adding some humor to this message with a personal story about eyebrows, my eyebrows, my real eyebrows, not these fake ones that I put on to try to be perfect. This is my Eyebrowgate scandal story. But I really don't want to take away from the seriousness of the message that I intend to convey with this humor, but I had to lighten it up a little bit. So I want this to be a cautionary tale. I am 50 years old, and at this point in my life, there is not too much that bothers me about how I look. When I was younger, yes, comments did get through, and I was at times self-conscious. I used to be called Miss Piggy because my nose turned up, and I remember that one sticking with me for quite a few years before I let that one go. So perhaps it was born out of that, but I have made an effort to retrain my brain in how it views my physical appearance. I will tell you truthfully that I am comfortable with my appearance nearly 100% of the time. Maybe with the one exception of when I still get these acne breakouts at 50. Those do bother me a bit. It's just so annoying to deal with this sometimes. But looking back, I can recall a point in my life in my late teens, early 20s, where I began to appreciate more of who I was. I wore my hair pretty short. I wore bright red lipstick. I didn't care what anyone thought about my style. I remember having people comment on my short hairstyle, and I just became that much more confident in being true to myself. And maybe that's what part of it was. I was being defiant to the naysayers. I did have a defiant streak in me, I do believe. Then I recall shortly after turning 40, I just decided I didn't want to mess with coloring my hair anymore. I had some naysayers yet again, but I began the journey of embracing my gray. And I recall numerous times at business functions, people commented on my super short or gray hair, and I just let it roll off. Like literally, I had my head shaved down to just probably like a number one on the guard all over, right? I didn't let it linger in my mind. I felt good about doing what felt good to me. I loved being able to get ready and have my hair would take like 2 seconds, right? So it felt good to me and I just embraced it. And, regarding my weight, I've had some ups and downs in life for sure with my weight. And while I always did, seem to have goals to be a certain healthy weight, I did, try to not allow it to be something that I became obsessed over. Obsessed in the sense that I worried about what other people thought. I wouldn't worry about getting in a bathing suit to go to the pool or the beach or the lake, even among the ups and downs of my weight journey. And looking back at all these situations, I can confidently say that I have done what I wanted to do, and I didn't overly worry about what other people thought. And to take it a step further, when I look in the mirror, I am happy with who I see looking back at me. So let me tell you, it was quite the surprise that now at age 50, I had something happen that I allowed to get through my resiliency that I've built up. My circumstance made me think about those who find themselves in a similar situation, who beat up on themselves and feel poorly because of the opinion of someone else. Whether you are young or old, you may find yourself in this position if you haven't already. So here's what happened. I create social posts and videos just like this one to offer helpful, inspiring content and spread the word about my coaching business. And one of the recent videos received a comment on YouTube. So I went to review it. Okay, I'm just going to read the comment to you exactly how it was written. Okay, so this is the comment that I received. Sorry, but your haircut and eyebrows instantly disqualifies you from teaching life advice. That's a choice in all caps. You are literally choosing to keep your eyebrows that far apart in all caps, even after looking at yourself in the darn mirror and think it's okay. It's like taking health advice from a fat person and then being 1,000 pounds and saying, it's okay to look like this. Okay, wow. Can we just pause? and take a breath after that mouthful of goodness. So obviously, I don't know who wrote this lovely collection of words, but the funny thing is, you know what my first thought was when I saw it? Wow, am I popular enough to maybe have haters? This might be a huge breakthrough. Seriously, though, at first, I didn't think much about it. But you know what? A short time later, when I happened to be looking in the mirror that night, I found myself staring at my eyebrows, starting to feel insecure. I was like, wait a minute, what is happening? Is this really bothering me right now? It's true. I have had my share of eyebrow issues. As I was aging and they began to turn gray and have this different texture, I started over tweezing them, which I don't think was a great plan because I noticed they're shrinking. So here I was staring at my eyebrows and thinking, I wish I would have never started messing with them. Remember, Carissa, the days of having those full, thick, brown eyebrows. Ugh. But seriously, I have done so much mindset work, and I don't tend to be bothered by things like this. Like I said, I overcame my short hair, my gray hair, all the opinions people had about me, all the things. So if I could be thrown off by this, I just know that it's affecting so many people. In this digital world where everyone can hide behind a screen and say anything they want, it really leaves us vulnerable if we don't have a strong sense of self-love and respect. The statistics show that women suffer from this scenario more than men. I'm not saying they're not affected, but women more so. And I wanted to take this situation that just occurred with me and plead to all the women and girls out there and the men, put importance on loving you. The National Organization for Women shared that by age 13, 53% of girls are unhappy with their bodies and their appearance. And that will grow to 78% by the time they're 17. And when they asked girls and women, are you happy with your body? 43% of teens answered yes. 38% of women in their 60s answered yes. So that is a big group that said no. It is not high enough. That number needs to be higher, right? By age 60, we are still worried about how our body is. When will this madness stop? We were given a body. We were given all the features that we have. And yes, those do change over time. We see these statistics that our view of ourselves gets worse with age. It has to be the story that we're told and sold and preached to us on everything that we look at, that perfect is what we are aiming for. But we intellectually know that there is no perfect. Still, we live in this place of believing it about ourselves, and then we can be pushed to hide our so-called flaws. It's just so sad. This silly Eyebrowgate scandal made me realize we are just random occurrences away from picking ourselves apart and chipping away at this view we have of ourselves. Imagine if someone deals with this all the time. I don't care how strong and resilient you are, you may find it getting through. The fact is, I was the one who got to decide what that comment did to me. I could use it against myself, or I could look at the comment and say, do you like your eyebrows? Yes, no? And then move on. It's so harmful when we just believe these things that people say without choosing for ourselves what we like. We cannot give others that sort of power and control over our mental state and decision making. This selfie culture emphasizes outward beauty. That is all we see anymore. So-called beautiful people, perfect people. But as you grow up, you realize that people you see as beautiful are you put them in that bucket because of so many reasons other than outward beauty. You know what I mean? We love them for their sense of humor, their friendship, their love, their compassion. We love them for their generosity and their kind spirit, their strength and their fight. I don't think any of us say, I really love that person because they are just so perfect and beautiful. So let's stop believing that this matters. Let's learn to see our self-worth. Remind yourself why people love you, What are their reasons? Ask them. If you don't hear because you're beautiful and you're perfect and you have the most perfect facial features and your eyebrows are just exactly the way they should be, then ask yourself why you're allowing yourself to fall into this beauty trap. I know that my eyebrows have absolutely nothing to do with my worth as a person or a coach. They are just one of my many features that I have that are evolving as I age. But people love me for everything else that I am. I challenge you to ask some people in your inner circle and write down all the things they say that they love about you. How many of those things are directly related to outward beauty? The evidence is all around us, but we have to be mindful. We have to look for it, seek it out, and then believe it with all you are. If you're a mom, I know for a fact that when you hold your baby for the first time, all you see is beauty. Let us always see what our mothers see, pure beauty inside and out. It's going to take time to change the path we've been on, but start with yourself and all the ladies or little girls around you. Let them know that they must first be in love with themselves and who they are and how they look, or else they will listen to any nonsense that someone sends their way, even strangers. So I want to leave you with a couple key takeaways. One, replace the negative self-talk. Just make it a rule. Stop it. If you catch yourself, replace it with a positive. If you hear someone else doing it, ask them to replace it with a positive, or you offer them one. And when someone pays you a compliment, please stop trying to explain for it. I did that so many years. I just now say thank you. Number two, work on generating self-love. Think about what you love and appreciate about your body, all of your features, in any phase that they're in. Think about that love of your mother when she saw you for the very first time. Can you challenge yourself to see what she did when you look in the mirror? And number three, watch what you follow on social media. Choose the content wisely. Pick things that reinforce a healthy self-image. Don't feed your brain with junk and expect to get high quality thoughts in return, because you won't. Thank you, person I don't know, for calling out my eyebrows. You made me pause and see how close I could be to listening and letting negativity in. So this was my reminder to stay vigilant, to stay mindful of what I allow to enter my precious brain space. And you inspired me to send love to all the ladies and little girls out there who are beautiful and perfect just as they are. Perfectly imperfect. Okay, everyone, that is what I have for you today. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this content, would you click that like button for me? Or better yet, click the share button and send this to someone you think needs to hear it. You can also click the subscribe button so you'll get notified when I release new videos. And if you or someone, if you or someone you know is struggling with issues like this one, I encourage you to visit Life Coaching with Carisa and book a complimentary coaching session with me on my new easy-to-use scheduling page. Learn some new tools and concepts that could be life-changing for you or someone you care about. All right, everyone, have a great day, and I will see you in a couple weeks.